Elohim. A lot of religious books and texts have used Elohim as a description of beings who are godly or the gods, beings who had a hand in the creation and evolution of humanity. And this is true. But as man often do, the Elohim has been misrepresented. And I'm telling you from my own experience and memories of interacting with those that we call Elohim, that they have been grossly misrepresented. The first misrepresentation is that they are often portrayed as men or males. You have Elohim who are male and female. Let that sit in. Why is it that we never hear a being or goddess or being in these major religions? Where's the feminine, the divine feminine in all of this? Why isn't it there? Because the male and the fragile male ego and those who've created these systems is doing exactly what society is reflecting back to us, and that is omit, deny, and suppress the divine feminine. So that's number one. Number two, more than often the Elohim is shown to be very prejudiced or biased, or is only favoring of one type of person, either only a male that looks and behaves a certain kind of way, or a certain tribe or a certain group. And based on my revelations and what I remember, the Elohim does not favor or make decisions based on form. They respond based on your vibratory imprint, who we are on a core level. These beings perceive skin deep. They can see all of who we are on a unique vibratory imprint level. They are looking at who we are when we are not showing who we are to the rest of the world. So those of us who have this mentality that we gotta dress a certain kind of way, have our hair, we gotta have facial hair and beards, and we gotta do this and do that. No, that's some male superficial nonsense. Because you can have someone who's doing all of that, but on the inside is all kind of crazy and out of balance and doing stuff that will make the devil look like an angel. And I'm telling you what I know. And because we have been programmed and trained to be superficial, superficiality is preferred in this world. We don't know how to look skin deep. Look at the heart and soul of a being. We're caught up in, how good they look to us, color, shade, race, all this dumb nonsense. The Elohim they're not looking at that. Because the Elohim constitutes a different variety of beings that don't look nothing like us. So are those who don't look anything like us, should they in all their majesty mistreat us because we don't look the way another Elohim may look or present him or herself? No. They respond to our vibratory signature, the kind of being we are on the inside. So where a lot of us are looking down on the outcasts, the misfits, those who refuse to get on the social assembly line for mass acceptance and mass popularity, the Elohim, they do tend to have or show more light on those who had that, because that is showing a noble trait, a noble character. That is showing courage. And they see more of themselves outside of what they may look like in those of us who magnify and show that. This is why I never cared about being popular or accepted by a lot of people. Because I know in the bigger picture, that don't mean nothing. All of this is temporary. What we take with us is what matters. Who we are when no one is looking, and what we're doing when no one is looking, that's what they are looking at. That's what Elohim had through messengers, through teachers and leaders, passed on their wisdom and passed on their knowledge. And as with most of it, it gets corrupt, it gets bought out. Those who know what's going on buy these people out and use them to corrupt the message and the wisdom of the Elohim. So this is why I knew that it was time for me to speak on this, because as this shift that we've been talking about unfolds, a lot more people will be exposed. A lot of people will be leaving at this time. This is just a natural part of the process. This process started years ago. It's just coming to a head.
The purpose of works of art may be to communicate ideas such as in politically, spiritually, or philosophically motivated art, to create a sense of beauty, to explore the nature of perception for pleasure, or to generate strong emotions. The purpose may also be seemingly non-existent.
Guys who seen my video, This Feeling, I didn't explain it then, but that video was an homage to the Elohim. The Elohim may look like some of us, but they may be blue, some of them may be purple, some of them may be green, the color of the rainbow, in terms of their physicality and their auric field, but their energy signature is the full spectrum of the rainbow, projecting out of darkness. Darkness is not evil and it's not negative. The rainbow is basically streams and spectrums isolated from darkness. If you were to add all of the primary colors, take paint, add all of the primary colors, you will get dark. You will get a dark hue. If you take all the secondary colors and mix them together, you will get black. You isolate these colors and pull them out of black, you get the rainbow covenant. You get a full spectrum. So when I did the video, This Feeling, now I can speak on it because a lot of people didn't get that. And I understand, it's okay. When I did the video, This Feeling, this is why it's very mysterious and a lot of darkness in the background, but the projection of rainbows. And I know how people think. People thinking, oh, he's promoting the GLBT, he's promoting gayness, and that was the furthest thing from my mind when I did that video. It was all in honor and magnifying the Elohim. We've all made a covenant under and with the Elohim. And so when this shift happens, there are people who are now coming forth and talking about seeing a wave that resembles, Fleur Brun is one of such being. She talked about seeing a magnified wave that looked like a rainbow. And you will notice that when people talk about seeing this wave come in, it's going to be in the form of a rainbow in some form or another. I have a close friend who lives in lives in Arizona, who saw something very similar, and they all say the same thing. When you see it, it is terrifyingly beautiful. It's beautiful, overwhelming, and terrifying all at the same time, but it's nothing to be afraid of. This is a part of the purification with the shift in the process. If you are not someone who is very negative and has lived a life off of feeding and hurting others and deceiving others, you don't have anything to worry about, because you are more in tune. Those of us who are looking out for the betterment of the whole, they're not looking for perfection. They're not expecting perfection. None of us, it's impossible to be perfect in a human body. This is understood. What this wave and this shift is all about is those of us who are tipping the scale with more of a harmonic development, who are most in tune with our original rainbow covenant. Not perfect, but most in tune with that. Each of those colors represent a vibratory signature, a vibratory imprint, a layer of reality, a layer of your multi-dimensional selves. So the more in tune we are with each of those respective realms, the more we can handle this wave of energy. And let me say something that a lot of people, I have not heard anyone say. That wave is also generated from anchors who are here on earth. Meaning there are those of us who create a portal, a doorway, and is magnifying this shift here as well. So some of us, it's going to have this shift that unveil or unravel itself from within. Then there are those of us who will experience it externally. Then you have those of us who may experience a little from both angles. So keep in mind that this shift is divinely ordained by the Elohim, and we made that covenant. And those of us who did not keep the covenant, those are the people who have a little something to worry about. And no amount of money, no amount of camouflaging or masking is going to hide when it hits, because these energies is going to connect with the core of who we are, not the superficial, not what we want people to see, the core of who we are.
Here's a simple but effective meditation practice that you, or anyone for that matter, can put into practice immediately. From the moment you awake to the moment you fall asleep, simply begin a practice of observation, watching and witnessing. Observe the mind, observe the subjective, the objective, its content, its thoughts, everything that is happening. Simply become a watcher without becoming attached. And when you start to feel like you have become attached, simply go back to observing, watching, and witnessing. Go about your daily activities, but keep that constant act of observation. By and by, this will center your attention within the self, the being, the observer. This will bring a state of calmness, focus, and awareness. The spirit that is dormant within will begin to slowly emerge. The more you become observers of the self, the more centered you will be in the self, the greater the clarity you will have.